very good morning to you. It is so good to see you right here on your world. It's Wellness Wednesday. And today being a Wellness Wednesday and being a very important week, if you ask me, because from 1st all the way to 7th of August, the world celebrates World Breastfeeding Week, okay? And the theme for this year is, 1 second, let me find so I do not read my own things, okay? So the theme for 2026 is breastfeeding for a sustainable start in life, strengthen what works. And today on the show, we'll go beyond just breastfeeding, because most of the time when we're talking about breastfeeding, we just focus on the baby and the milk supply and uko na maziwa kiasi gani, does the baby get good quality milk, is the baby well breastfed, like the whole concept is just geared towards the baby. But what about the mother? Who takes care of the mother? Okay, what kind of support does she need during breastfeeding? Because we just say, yeah, breastfeed exclusively for the first 6 months of life, but the reality is not everybody gets to do that, and not because they do not want to. There are other circumstances that prevent the baby from being breastfed for the first 6 months of their lives. So then what does that look like? And even just following the theme, and that is breastfeeding for sustainable start in life, strengthen what works. What exactly does sustainability then look like? And we're going beyond the policies and what Gava is doing to ensure that, mothers are breastfeeding, to what exactly works for the mother and for the baby, and how can we support them? So it's gonna be an amazing conversation. Please stay with us until the end of the show. If you have a question, send it our way, and then I will send it to our panelists this morning, beautiful ladies that I have on set with me today. But before you meet them, we have a question for you. And we always say right here on Your World, swali la siku ni very simple, okay? Today, it's literally, truly very simple, okay? And the question of the day goes, what is the biggest, I think, blessing or something? Wait for a second, okay? Who made the biggest difference during your first days as a parent? Or when you fully welcomed new baby into your family? Who made the biggest difference during your first days as a parent? Or when you fully welcomed new baby into your family? So this is more of like to the parents, to the mothers, okay? Mothers and dads as well. Who made the biggest difference? Today we're saying we're celebrating them because this is the kind of support that all mothers, I would say, need, and especially during the first few months of a baby's life. So we'll be going through your feedback as well as we continue with the conversation this morning. But for now, allow me to introduce my guests this morning. Like I said, beautiful ladies joining me for this very important conversation. And I'm just going to start on my immediate right, okay? And on my immediate right, we have Mary Madenge, who is a registered nurse and registered midwife. Lakini she has years of experience as far as helping new mothers and just, sort of like initiating them into motherhood. So it's so good to see you, Mary. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for bringing the beautiful, what do we call them today?
This is Princess. And that is Onyango.
Onyango. Karibu sana, Mary. Thank you. Thank you for your time. And then next to Mary, we have Pauline Achieng Karanja, who is a lactating mother. Thank you so much for joining us today on the show. 2 years. 2 years and
4 months.
2 years, 4 months, and you're still breastfeeding. And all the ladies were like, you know what, you should receive your flowers. Yeah, you should receive your flowers. So thank you as well for joining us today for this very important conversation. And then next to Pauline, we have Monica Kahiga, who is here to share her journey as far as alternative feeding is concerned. And Monica, thank you so much as well for joining us this morning. You were saying, hey, baby, by the time is like, the milk decided, today is a good day, today I do not feel like coming. It was
up and down.
Up and down. But even during the process, of course, you had to find ways to make sure that the baby is fed.
Yes.
But in the process came a lot of judgment and harsh words that were not so kind. So thank you as well for just agreeing to come in and talk to us today about your journey and how you're doing today. How old is the baby now?
Now he's 20 months.
Look at that. Yeah. Oh, still a baby. Thank you, Monica, for coming by today. And then next to Monica, we have Josephine Wandia Munene, who is a lactation expert, joining us as well for this very important conversation. Josephine, it's so good to see you again. After 2 years, almost 3 probably.
Yes, maybe 3.
Maybe 3 years. How have you been?
I've been well.
Yeah.
I've been well, busy and still advocating.
Yes.
And looking forward to having this discussion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let's just start with you because again, we've had conversations on breastfeeding and breastfeeding week and why it's important to just use this week to remind people and remind women in general, and especially for mothers, that, the importance of breastfeeding. But then the reality is not everybody gets to do that, right? So looking at where we are at as a country, even just as the world marks this whole week, what is it that we're missing? And not just as a country, but even just around the globe, as far as getting there where all babies are exclusively breastfed for the first 6 months of their lives?
I think a lot of it has to do with making sure that at each step of that journey, from antenatal, from the minute the mother conceives, she's hearing about the support. She understands that she's not going to be alone, because right now breastfeeding in many ways is framed as a mother's responsibility.
Yes.
Like, what role do I play? And that's why we even have World Breastfeeding Week, which that theme is supposed to continue on for the entire year, until the next year.
Yes.
But we tend to just do the 7 days.
On the first 7 days of
Maybe
it.
if we are lucky, August, and then now we drop it. But it's supposed to be a continuous reminder to mothers that you have the support system, not just in the health system, you also have it in the workplace. You have it everywhere you go. It's almost like an advertisement that you can do this, you can do this. So the same way that all these other formulas are marketed, or they were marketed, now they're not allowed to be marketed. But that is why, because who is marketing breastfeeding? Who is telling this mom that if you struggle, I'm here to help you across the board. Whether or not you're at the highest from the highest social economic demographic to the lowest, to that mama fua, she knows that if she has a problem, there's somebody I can turn to. They are well skilled, they are knowledgeable, they are non-judgmental, and they're going to be able to see her as this remarkable person who is using their body to feed a baby. So it's those support gaps that need to continue throughout the 1,000 days, from conception at least until the 2 years, and hopefully even beyond that.
I mean, she's doing it.
I mean, it's amazing,
It's
she's
possible.
our model,
right?
for
And you know what?
breastfeeding.
Majority of the times, I was surprised, like, oh my gosh, 2 years. Like it's. And a lot of people are like, how do you do that? Like, how do you continue breastfeeding? I always tell people, my brother will kill me if he's watching the show today. He breastfed up until he was 5.
Wow.
5 years. Yes. And my mom is a teacher. I mean, she's retired now. I remember when we were young, so we'd come from school, and then my brother would go and then ask my mom to sit and, directly go for the breast. He wants to breastfeed. And my mom was like, you do it. But, right? But to so many people, that would be like, you. Like,
Milk has a lot of value, actually. In the second year, it has more fat.
Right?
And more immunity properties. So yes, so there's a lot of evidence that shows the longer one breastfeeds, the longer a baby breastfeeds, the healthier they become. But also it impacts the IQ as well, because it continues to provide the nutrients needed.
I can attest to that, I promise you. He's a very brilliant young man. But Margaret, you've worked with so many women, 15 years plus, right, of experience.
Actually, 32 years.
32. 15 is, okay, all right. 32 years is no mean feat, right?
Yes, and
what is it that
basically
you've
we don't
seen?
mothers and babies.
Mothers and babies.
Yes.
Those are your people.
Yeah.
What is it that you've seen from women that probably you would want to share in your years of experience? Because when you think about breastfeeding, most of us would think, but it's a natural thing. So you should know how to breastfeed. I mean, and the baby should know naturally how to breastfeed. But that is not the case, right? So what is it that you've noticed with this women and babies that you've walked through this journey for 32 years?
Okay, first I would say, I've worked in the NICU for about 22 years.
Okay.
So I've seen even those who are born below 1 kilo, 600 grams, 700 grams. I've seen big babies born at 4.5, So I've seen all. All what I know is we all assume breastfeeding is automatic. It is not automatic. What is for the fact is this. A baby, from that 4 weeks of gestation, and the baby is still in the mother's womb, but that 4 weeks, the sucking reflex is already formed.
Okay.
So by the time they are reaching term, they know how to suck. at birth, the person who doesn't know what to do is the mother.
Okay.
But we always say it is automatic. A baby comes, you are told to put the baby on the
your
breast.
Yes.
The baby, if you give the finger, they will suck.
Yes.
If you give the skin, they will suck. So the mother needs now to be shown from the word go, which part of the breast is this baby supposed to be sucking? Because the breast has the nipple and has where the milk is.
Okay.
And the nipple is not where the milk, is.
Okay.
So when the baby is given the nipple, they just bite. And then if you're a new mother, somebody is biting you, you feel pain, then you think this breastfeeding is not for me.
Yeah.
But if a mother is guided from the word go, then the journey becomes easy. Then the other thing is from 28 weeks of conception, that is when breast milk starts to form, what we call the colostrum. So any mother from 28 weeks can produce milk. By the time they are term and the baby is about to be born, the milk is just there waiting. So they just need to be guided where to latch and to relax. There are many other factors that can make milk not just start dropping.
Yes.
But from my 32 years experience, I have never come across a mother who has missed even a drop of milk completely.
Okay.
Yes.
And you know what we've also had? I mean, I'm not a mother yet, but there's so many stories that I've had. And one of the things that mothers are told, especially new mothers, first-time mothers, is it starts in the brain. Just relax. You're telling this mother to just relax. They've just delivered a baby. The body is trying to come back to center. You know, like it's a whole lot of things happening at the same time. And then the mother is told, you relax. It's all psychological. When you relax, the milk comes. I don't know how.
Maybe actually what I can say, there are 3 B's in breastfeeding.
Okay.
For breastfeeding to be successful, 3 B's must work together.
Okay.
The baby,
Okay.
the breast, and the mother's brain.
Okay.
So what happens, the baby sucks on the breast.
Okay.
A message is sent to the mother's brain. There's a part of the brain at the back.
Yes.
Then the mother's brain produces 2 hormones, prolactin, oxytocin.
Okay.
Those hormones go to the breast. Prolactin goes to the cells where the milk is made, activates them to produce milk.
Okay.
Then oxytocin is the let-down hormone that makes the breast to contract to release the milk.
Okay.
So that means the more the baby is sucking, the more the message, the more the hormones, the more milk.
Okay.
But one of those hormones called oxytocin, which is the let-down hormone, in life it's called the happy hormone, the feel good, the love hormone. It's supposed to make you feel good. But if a mother is stressed by anything, instead of this letting down, it goes back.
It goes back.
So that's why you hear people saying it is all psychological, it is all at the back of the mind, but it's that hormone. So the mother actually needs to make this feel-good hormone to be at highest level so that it can reward her by giving her a lot of milk. So it is true, mother needs, it's easier said
than done. Yes.
So that's why support is most important. And as she said, support starts from conception.
Yes.
All the way throughout the pregnancy, this mother needs to be supported and told it is doable. Immediately during labor. Delivering a baby is not a joke. So a mother needs to be supported not to have a traumatic delivery. Because if the delivery is traumatic, any minute she sees her baby, her mind goes to delivery, oxytocin goes back.
It goes back. I see that. Monica, you're about to jump off the seat. You were like, Let me hear from you.
I think it's because when you said about nobody prepares you, nobody prepares you that if you go through cesarean section, the milk won't come out the same way as someone who has given birth normally. So at the hospital, you're seeing moms breastfeed immediate. And you're there after CS, you're first trying to come out of the meds, and you're being told this baby has to feed. And then they bring out the syringe. Like a syringe, a 20 ml syringe, or may cut up a juu. And then they put it on your nipple. Then they pull. It is pain. And then after that, you're even having trauma of now the painful needle. And then now you're supposed to also. And I had flat nipples. And people had not heard about flat nipples. Majority of the time, even the nurse who came the first time thought, ni nipple tu ijatokea. It was later on when we met Mary, that's when we realized it's called a flat nipple. And it's normal. But before you realize it's a flat nipple, I've had 2 weeks of people telling me, ni wewe haumweki vizuri, ni wewe haufanyi the right way, jaribu kufanya hivi. I even had a nanny we had employed at the time try to take my boob and be like, fanya hivi. But it's everybody trying to tell you you're not doing it right. But nobody is telling you this is different. So after you come out of it, and then that's when a friend told me, you know what you're going through, there are people who can help you. And I know a lady who can. And then that's when Mary came. And then she spent a whole day explaining to me that what it's flat nipple. And at that point, that's when at least milk started flowing freely compared to, but I feel, had I
known what you know now, because the baby is 20 months.
But that period after CS, and you're at the hospital, and they bring out a syringe that has been cut by a knife, and then it still has the ragged edges, and then they place it there to pull. It's a very painful experience, and if I was really not for it, I would have stopped at that point. But at that point, someone came and told me, just give Lactomil, and then we prepare you for breastfeeding. So, and Nan is shunned a lot. And I get the reason why. Personally, I don't like it. But at some point, when you're from CS and milk is not coming out, they're telling you baby must poop. They have to see the poop. You have flat nipples. You've been pulled with a syringe. There's no way that milk is coming out. So we had to find a solution. And by then, I had not realized there's a lactation consultant to know that there is donor milk. So that's when someone comes and tells you, just give them Lactomil. And then after hospital, we get home and I have milk. So we start breastfeeding. But then in the process of breastfeeding, it stops because of stress. People don't really count the stress that we have as women at home. And the biggest challenge is not what we see, rather it's what goes on behind the scenes. You're waking up, you're used to being a career woman. Now you're at home. It's the longest time you've been at home. Nasi leave day.
And you're not at home enjoying yourself, sitting on a couch, enjoying your movie. You have to take care of a little one who fully depends on you.
And then you look at people around you, you look at your partner, you look at other people, and they're going on with their lives. And you're like, why am I the only one in this?
That you have to pause.
And then now you have stress. And then, as Mary said, stress comes in, no milk.
Forms,
and then you call again, Mary, and you're like, hey, maziwa itoki tena.
Please help. What do I do? And we'll come back to really delve deeper into understanding your journey, because during the pregnancy period, and like I said, not so many people knew about flat nipple. And so I'd want to imagine, so there's no way you were even prepared that, yes, when the baby comes, this is what would would need to do to at least make sure that we have milk to give it to the baby at first. It's like you were initiated into it. The baby is here. You have to produce milk by all means possible, and that can be very traumatic.
That's the bad thing about it. And I think we've always talked with Mary that something has to be done to prepare moms before they give birth, especially new moms, because you're coming into something you don't know. Someone would have noticed the flat nipples way beforehand. You're only told about Lamaze classes, about sitting on a ball, rolling, which is good because you want to open the way to giving birth. But then nobody prepares you for now. You've opened the way, you've given birth, what next?
Now what?
So
what
rarely do you find now someone telling you, now after giving birth, you can do this. And those classes are not pushed as much as Lamaze classes are pushed. So you find, even if there are people who do that, because I think May has people she does it for before they give birth. But you see, most of us meet lactation consultants after you've given birth. And after that 1 week of stress, that's when someone comes and tells you there's someone to do this. But if someone came before,
probably things could be different. Mary, maybe this is a new ministry for you to start all those things. But let's hear from Pauline as well, and then we'll go through your feedback on the question that we're asking you this morning. Who made the biggest difference during your first days as a parent, or when you welcomed a new baby into the family? But for you, Pauline, it's a bit different, right? You're breastfeeding. The baby is 2 years now, and you're breastfeeding. Let's hear your journey. Has it always been like that? Like the baby came and milk is like, hello, we are here. Let's work
not
together.
really, actually. I think I'm actually surprised Monica is saying that she'd pump up to 5 liters. Mine was the opposite, but I think what helped me at the time, unlike Monica, I had Mary with me from the onset. So I was equally a C-section mom, and so when I was in recovery, I'm told someone in the hospital was almost giving my baby formula. Then Mary was like, nope, stop, no formula for the baby. So that helped me jumpstart my breastfeeding journey, because she also made me understand that what I produce will be enough for my child. Now, in as much as I'm breastfeeding till now, 2 years later, I've never been an oversupplier. There were instances where I had to carry the baby to work with me, the baby plus the nanny. We stay almost 40 kilometers away from where I am. But the most that I could pump in a day is maybe 60. And this 60, I've literally been pumping 20, because the baby is also breastfeeding. There was no way I was going to convince Mary that I'm not doing exclusive breastfeeding. So the only solution then had to be that I had to carry the baby. So I'd tell the client in advance that I'm coming, but I'm coming with the baby and the nanny. Just in case the 60 is shared, then I'm able to now do the breastfeeding. And the reason I took it for that long till now, it's also a way for me to bond with my baby. And also, as she said, that the benefits that comes with that, which I totally understand. You said your brother did 5 years.
5 years.
I think I did 4, because I remember coming from school and pulling her to see.
Right? It's like, yes.
I'm the last one, so I got to enjoy the benefits. And because of that, I understand the kind of bond I had with my mom, and that is what I'm trying to create with my daughter as well. Otherwise, she'll be a daddy's girl and a grandmother's best friend. So the only
and then you're the outsider.
So the only way I'm able to steal the show is when I come and she wants to breastfeed, and I'm like, guys, you have to wait on the side, it's my time. You know? But I've seen the benefits of how far we have gone. I intend to get to 3 years, although now it's getting a bit exhausting because now of work as well. So when you come back, you're tired. But again, she needs to breastfeed. And also I'm realizing that it's sort of affecting her sleep patterns whenever I'm home. And so because in the night, she'll keep on waking up. But when I'm not home, they tell me that she's able to sleep all through the night. And I'm still hoping to get to that day when she's able to sleep all through the night.
I see that. And you talked about enough, and based on what Mary told you, that you're able to produce what is enough for your baby. And I know for many mothers, that is one of the things that they struggle with. What exactly does enough mean? Because we wanted to feed the baby. Akijaribu kutoka hivi, you're like, hujashiba, you know. So what exactly does enough mean? And enough at different stages. Because I remember, I think I had a show you some time back, Mary, and you said the first month the baby's tummy is the size of what?
I still have it. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe I could just show.
Yes.
Now, like the first 3 days,
Okay.
this is the size of the baby's stomach. And actually, maybe just going back to pregnancy, when the baby is still in the mother's womb, they pee into the amniotic fluid,
Yes.
they drink the urine,
Okay.
but they never poo. A baby only poops if they have a problem.
Yes.
So that means, that doesn't mean they are not eating because they take the amniotic
They are
fluid,
eating.
but the stomach is it's closed.
Okay.
When this baby is born, if the mother produces just 1 drop, that stomach will also open 1 drop. And that is our beautiful nature. What you produce is what your baby actually needs. Because if we think so many years ago, before formula was introduced, babies were still being born and they were not getting food immediately.
Yes.
And they survived.
And they survived.
So that's how nature is. Animals in the forest, they deliver and they just feed their babies.
Yeah.
That is how God created the animals and women there.
Yeah.
So that is the stomach.
So
0 to 3
tiny.
days. It's about like 5 to 10 mLs.
I'm just looking at that 5 shilling coin.
It is so small.
It's so tiny.
That is what the baby needs.
Okay.
By the time this baby is about 4 to 6 days a week, that is now the size of the stomach, maybe 30 mLs or so.
Almost like a 20 shilling coin.
Yes.
Right?
But
So
by that time, this mother is some mothers are even producing 200 mLs. And that's why they start now getting engorged because baby is requiring 60 and you are producing 200. So you start getting engorged. By that time, you start having... By the time this baby is a week to 2 weeks, this is the stomach. And how much milk is this? If it goes maximum is about 100 or 80 to 100. This time, some mothers, especially the super producers, they can produce even 300 in one sitting. So it is nature. What you produce is actually what your baby needs. So we always, I believe, if a mother is supported well from the word go, and has no medical contraindication, herself she's okay and the baby is okay, every mother should be able to feed her baby actually adequately and can manage to do exclusive breastfeeding. Though, having said that, there are times we have medical reasons where the baby may need to be fed otherwise.
And we'll talk about then the alternatives in just a second, but let's go through some of your feedback on WhatsApp on the question that we're asking you this morning, and that is, what made the biggest difference during your first days as a parent or when you welcomed a new baby into your family? Okay, what are you guys saying on WhatsApp? If we have that ready. So this one says, how do we also go about when you want to stop breastfeeding when the baby is off age and weaning? We'll talk about that. Please stick with us, okay, on the show. We'll talk about that in just a second. But just so we talk about exclusive breastfeeding. And I'm trying to remember whether it was with you when we were having that conversation, and and we're talking about how exclusive breastfeeding does not include bottle feeding. Like, you've expressed your milk, you put it in a feeding bottle, and then you give to your baby. That's not that, right? So can we really understand what this exclusive truly means in today's age and the realities that come with it?
Exactly. No, that is exclusive breastfeeding. So exclusive breastfeeding is giving your baby only your milk, only mother's own milk, and medication. Any needed medication, but no water, because you don't need water. Breast milk is about 87% water, so that's why you don't need water. And then it has all the nutrients, and then it also changes, the composition changes to meet the nutritional needs of the baby. So like Mary was saying, even when that capacity, the volume increases, it usually doesn't go more than 180 per feed for a baby between 6 weeks and 6 months. A baby will rarely take more than that from both breasts. But whereas with infant formula, you find that you're constantly increasing the volumes, you're increasing the scoops, because with breast milk, everything that is required adjusts to the needs of the baby.
Okay.
So as long as that baby is exclusively on mother's own milk, that is exclusive breastfeeding.
Okay.
So even if that baby is drinking with a cup, drinking with a bottle, as long as it's mother's own milk.
Okay.
So that's why even when now mothers go back to work, we advocate for certain provisions that allow that mother to get to the 6 months. So like you see with us, we have 3 months of maternity leave,
yes.
which leaves you, and if you're lucky, maybe 4, which leaves you still with a gap. So what happens then? So now, according to the law, the Health Act of 2017, Section 71 and 72, every employer is supposed to have a place where the mother will be able to express, and that's why they are called lactation stations. Not even necessarily breastfeeding, because lactation is the science of making milk. So it's all about removing that milk, storing the milk, and taking it home. So you maintain that exclusive breastfeeding for the 6 months, and you're also given the time to do that. Now, where exclusive breastfeeding at the breast is very important. At the breast, is if you're using breastfeeding as a contraception method. Yes. So it's called LAM, LAM, lactoamenorrhea method. Now that one requires you to put the baby on the breast, because there's a way that the baby breastfeeds. There's that signal becomes unbroken compared to if you're hand expressing or if you're pumping. So for any mother who wants to use breastfeeding as a form of contraception, that should be 24 hours on the breast with very little break in that pattern, where ideally, even if you're expressing maybe once, maybe twice, because you really need that connection with the stimulation, the exchange, saliva. So it's more complex. But that is the one where now exclusively breastfeeding at the breast. Whereas it's not just baby exclusively feeding on mother's own milk. So those are the...
I see. Because then I'm thinking, still not the same with the bottle. And then you hear people say, but when you give the baby the bottle, I don't know what it does to the baby's mouth, and then they inhale gas, and then they become colic. And
exactly. So that's one of the reasons why we discourage the bottle. It's not just because we're being difficult. It's actually because the science has shown that. Actually, I've literally just come from conducting a CME at a hospital. So everything that we've talked about, I was like, I told them that always support the mother, never use the syringe. Like I was cringing because I've just come from telling them, do not ever use a syringe on a mother. So if they're watching this, they'll be like, yep, she told us that. But with the bottles, the same thing I was telling them. What happens is that when a baby is breastfeeding, first of all, the tongue needs to come forward. And in order to create a vacuum around the breast. So, and that's why the way the baby holds the breast, the part of the nipple that goes into the baby's mouth needs to be towards the back. So the baby needs to open wide enough so that now that the breast and the dark part, the areola, are mostly in the mother's mouth, in the baby's mouth, sorry. And that allows the tongue to push forward and up. So if you ever watched a video of a baby breastfeeding, you'd see the tongue really moving. Now, when we use a teat and a bottle, all it happens is that the teat just sits on the tongue. Pop, and the baby just sucks. So there's no movement, so there's no jaw development. You tend to find that those babies are not able to pronounce certain letters because even as I'm talking, my tongue is rolling. But those ones tend to just, they'll say this, my mother. Because the tongue has become stagnant. So even when we feed by the cup, and that's why we advocate for the cup, not just because of hygiene, and again, not just because we want to take money away from producers, is because even the baby on the cup, they lap the milk. They lap the milk. So the same way, let's say if you're eating an ice cream cone, that's exactly what the baby does. They lap. So you see there's that movement of the tongue, and then the baby is able to control the feeds as well. Whereas with the bottle, it's just pop. And maybe somehow supposed
it's like you're not going anywhere until you finish this whole bottle.
Exactly.
You know, it's like
but on the breast, there's a conversation. You know, the baby is able to look up and say, oh, I'm a bit tired. Can I take a breath? With the cup, it's the same thing. So the baby is in control, both at the breast and with the cup. So yes, those are the scientifically proven reasons why bottle feeding is not encouraged.
Yeah. But then again, we're alive to the fact that in very many instances, bottle feeding is probably the only way, right, to help this child, because at the end of the day, the baby has to be fed because they need the milk. They also need the nutrient that comes from the milk.
But just to add to that, sorry, I think also what we need to do, and the failure here was mainly for us, and I apologize on behalf of all healthcare professionals you came across, because everyone dropped the ball along that continuum. But cup feeding is something that we really need to start doing. At health facility, and these are things that are supposed to be taught antenatally. So every single time a mother goes to the antenatal clinic, she's supposed to be shown, I have a dummy, I have a breast dummy, I have all these things, and I'm showing, you know, so that when that baby comes, when she goes home and she's leaving her baby, that caregiver is using a cup because it's now natural. You know, so we need the same way bottles and teats are marketed, we just now need to market cup feeding as a public health intervention.
I see that. And I see Mary came equipped. She has her tools. Okay. She came with her tools. There's a cup, there's a syringe. Okay.
That's the culprit.
So close your eyes, Monica.
So this is the syringe Monica is talking about. We normally cut it here. So if you put this syringe this way, so I guess Monica was being pulled with this part, which is very traumatizing. In the event that a syringe has to be used, it's supposed to be put the other way around. You see now,
then
this part now is smooth. So even if I came where the breast is like here, which is flat now, and I pull, you see like this. I'm not cutting. This is very smooth. But now, I think it's lack of knowledge. You cut and still pull with now this bad part. So if the syringe has to be used, people have to know how to use it properly. But also on that point,
I am so sorry, Monica. Now that I see it, So
there's these ones now that have been, they are called nipple lash assist. You see, they are very, very smooth. And I think when I met Monica, this is what we got. This one is very friendly. Just before you feed, because some nipples are even actually inverted. So you just put where there is no nipple like this. Then you just pull. Just when you are about to put the baby, you pull a few times, then it comes at least, because baby, as she said, mouth wide open, baby should suck at least the areola, not the nipple. So when you pull this, then the baby is able to latch that part. So at least every mother should be able to be assisted. These things are now available in the shops.
Wait, is it everybody, like every mother who needs it, or mother ones with like flat nipple, inverted nipple?
So this is basically for very flat nipples or inverted. Inverted, they're actually literally inside. So this is helpful. And they are really available, thank God.
So that mothers do not go through the traumatic. Monica, I am so sorry. I cannot imagine how painful.
Then when we talk about the cup, the cup is just something like this, or just the top of a feeding bottle. And then you just need to hold the baby and just put it there. You put, and as he said, a cup baby is able to control. And in most hospitals, the nurses, at least maybe I could be biased because I worked mainly in one hospital. At least there, that is what we were using, the medicine cups like this. It's good. I know sometimes mothers are not able to do it, but I think if they are taught well, they can still adapt.
At what stage of the baby are we then doing this? Because I know for so many mothers will be like, but what if they choke? They're tiny. They don't know how to swallow. Do they?
They know.
They know.
Even the small babies, even premature babies, they know how to swallow.
Oh, wow. Any baby from 2 kilos or 1.8 kilograms and above, they're able to take. They know how to swallow very well. Yes. Oh, interesting. I can see as we're out here thinking, babies don't know. They know. They know what they're supposed to do.
But it's the support the mother needs. I know. At first, the mother mother will shake, the baby will do like this, and all the milk will go into the clothes.
Yes.
Then at the end of the day, she has not fed the baby, she's frustrated.
Yeah.
But if she sits with somebody from the right away from the hospital,
Yeah.
or at home, immediately she arrives home, she needs support, just to be shown.
Yes,
Yeah.
on how to do that. We're due on a break in very few minutes, but I wanted to hear from you, Monica, in terms of, so the milk is not coming as it's supposed to, and then there's a lot of things that are happening, with like stresses and whatnot. And then you said you became a what, like
Herbalist.
yeah. Because you're trying to make sure that the milk is there. What are some of those things that you had to do, and did they work?
When you leave hospital, you're given Mamali.
Okay.
Now, Mamali becomes expensive with time because you see that the 3,000 thing, it only lasts you like a week for you to produce good milk.
Okay.
So now the expense becomes that,
Yeah.
but then it doesn't beat the expense of formula. So you don't want to go formula. And then now you have to sit down and evaluate. And that's when I decided to Google what's inside Mamali.
Okay.
And then I found it's a herb called Shatavari, and Indians know it. And I visited an Indian shop, and they're like, yeah, that's the one we use to breastfeed.
Okay.
And it was way cheaper.
Okay.
So I started using that, and then I would use lactation cookies, but then they would work this week, not work next week.
They're like,
So, and then you'd go back and ask moms, and most people would tell you it worked for me, didn't work for me.
Yeah.
So now you have to sit down and Google herbs that work. And then we try different herbs. You call Mary and you tell Mary, this one worked this week.
Okay.
So now you take a bit of that, a bit of that. So but the constant one was Shatavari and cumin.
Yeah.
Cumin, ironically, does produce a lot of milk. And I think that's why even after I was done with breastfeeding after a year, my milk wouldn't go away because I was still taking food with cumin. So I realized that's what composes Mamali. And up on the herbalist came in.
It came in and it helped. And we're doing our break. Let's take a break, and then when we come back, we also want to hear more on this. And also from Pauline, from you, because like you said, sometimes you had to go to work with the baby, and how that was like for you. And even at work, did you receive the amount of support that you needed to make sure that there's milk, much as the baby is here, to actually feed the baby with, right? But we're also told, kula jahe, kunywa uji, chocolate, and all those, do they work? Okay, and if you're mom watching us and probably, want to share your journey with us as far as breastfeeding, please do so at NTV Kenya and also on our WhatsApp. But the question that we're asking you this morning right here on Your World, and that is, who made the biggest difference during your first days as a parent, or when you welcomed a new baby into the family? Let's hear what you guys have to say on WhatsApp as well. So this one says, hello, I am exclusively breastfeeding, and now the problem has a lot of speed ups, okay? Several times and in large amounts, even after burping. Is this normal? And then continues to say, so the baby has a lot of speed ups, okay? So the question is this normal? We'll answer that, I think, when we come back from the break so that we do not rush into it. But share your breastfeeding experiences and your journeys. And if someone told you, he's Mara stinging nettle, I have had a lot of those things, okay? So send it our way as well at NTV Kenya across all board on our digital platforms. Let's take a break. We'll be right back with more right here on Your World on Wellness Wednesday. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. It's Wellness Wednesday today. We're learning so much from the conversation as far as breastfeeding is concerned. And yes, in as much as it is important to breastfeed your baby for the first 6 months of their lives, exclusively breastfeed, okay? So many instances where that's not possible. And we're trying to understand, so what kind of support do we offer moms who are not able to give, their babies exclusive breast milk, okay, or exclusively breastfeed their babies? What kind of support is needed to make sure that the baby is not just fed, but the baby is well fed, has the right nutrition, from the mother's milk. And we're learning so much from the conversation. If you are a mom-to-be like me, please sit around. If you are a mother who's watching us and probably going through the journey as far as, breastfeeding your baby or, make sure that you also stick around. But I'm also curious about your stories, your breastfeeding stories. Please share with us right here on your wallet, NTV Kenya across all board. And that is on our digital platforms as well as on our WhatsApp number. And the question that we're asking you this morning is, who made a difference during, the first few months of you bringing a baby into the family, or when you had a baby? Who made a difference? Please share their names so that we celebrate them, okay? And also let us know, what exactly did they do? In what way did they support you during your breastfeeding journey? But before we went on a break, the whole concept about jahe, you did a lot of herbs and they right? Yeah. And I'd also like to hear from you, Mary, and Josephine as well. But Pauline, I'm curious as well for you. Did you try all those things? Kule njahe, kunywe uji, chocolate, stinging nettle?
Yeah, I did, especially uji. It's called mugaga too, right?
Yes.
The fermented
fermented
kikuyu.
uji.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also the likes of the njahes.
Yeah.
However, I think I hope my mom-in-law is not watching this, because I'm not a fan of njahi. So njahe and waru at the time. So in my mind, Mary has never forgiven me when I said that waru was giving my daughter colic and njahe, but it was just a way of me to escape mokimo and njahe. And then came the uji as well, which I also felt was, for lack of a better word, making me add weight. So in a way to escape that, again, I kept it on my mind that that's also causing colic.
Okay.
Yes.
So like, avoid. It's not even just colic, it's like, and whatnot. Did you also try the same jahe?
Hey, Konza, if I would call Mary and tell, I don't think njahe is good because of colic. And Mary's like, njahe is not related to colic. I'm just trying not to have njahe. And everybody's telling you, njahe is the way.
Yeah.
Njahe, uji, and
Chapati.
a lot of carbs. You need like a lot of carbs.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So now the other end you're trying to cut weight.
Yeah.
But then there's carbs you're being told to eat.
Yeah.
So that milk can come out.
Yeah.
And you even resort, maybe herbs. Let's just do herbs.
Let's go the traditional way. I never heard about chapos. Like, right?
Mine was bread. I would like finish like a whole bread.
Yeah.
Bread. I'm a witness.
I even learned how to bake bread.
No way.
Just so that we can keep up the bread thing.
Did it work though?
It worked. There's a time I pumped milk. I called Mary and I was like, hey Mary,
bread for the
I have
win.
pumped 640 ml in one sitting. And then I would, wakanza kunita fresher.
Yes. Milk in supply. But that's like a good problem, right? You have a lot of milk. You have a lot of milk. Okay.
But I think, as Mary and Annie said earlier, Josephine said earlier, it's more mental.
Yeah.
And what you believe will work for you is what will work for you. Because then again, at that time, for some reason, social media brings to you what you want to see. And so you'll see this mother who took chapos and got a lot of milk, this one who took njahe, this one who did dill seeds, and lots of conversations around what you're supposed to take. But I think what works, because I remember there's even a time I had, I think it was a time when I was supposed to go to work and there was nothing coming. So Mary, I had to rush to go get Mama late. And I came back and I still pumped my 60. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to pump my 80s and 120s.
You know?
As what I'm seeing on social media, people buying an extra freezer for the pumped milk. And in my mind, I'm just like, God, I'm not even feeling 2 or 3 cups inside this freezer. So I think it's more of what you believe will work for you, and that's also what gives you the peace. Again, the stress goes away, and so you're able to jump into your quantity increment.
And can we also talk about how that, like your mental state at that point? Because again, on one end, you see social media, like you're saying, now we're seeing that. People are buying extra freezers just to store milk. And then here you are struggling to even get 60 ml. Can we talk about like the mental toll it takes on you, on top of trying to do other things, you know? Yes, be a mom, but also be self. You know, yourself before the baby, trying to watch on your way, trying to for those who go back to work, try to go back to work and be a productive, employee. Can we just talk about how that space is like and how you are able to maneuver?
I think to some point you feel like your body is failing your baby because you feel like I'm the only person who's able to feed this child and I'm not producing enough for them to get. And so it goes into the mental state where now you feel like it's either there's something you're not doing right or you're just not focusing enough on what you're supposed to be doing. And let's be honest, regardless of the intensity that comes with breastfeeding, at the end of the day, you're still a mother. In some cases, you're a wife, you're a homemaker. And so all these things still come into play, and it gets to a point where now probably that's even what sends moms into depression, because you're thinking you have a lot on your plate to juggle. And if you are in an environment where the support is not there, then people will again start saying, like, it's just breastfeeding. Why is it so difficult? Like, why do you have to struggle with a mere 60 while somebody else, and especially if you're in, for lack of a better word, in a proper traditional house, then they'll be like, Mama yetu alitunyonyesha, we were 10 of us. And at no point did we ever hear that they were struggling with milk. Why is your case so different? And so it comes as a way that either you're weak or you're just not doing enough, which is why, again, we go back to the point of support. And I think the constant song we sing with Mary and any other person around me is, fed is best. You know, at the end of the day, as long as the baby is full, things will flow as they're supposed to flow.
And Monica, you also shared during the break that at some point you also received donor milk. And can we just talk about that and what that process was like for you?
Because I think for me, my breastfeeding journey was like valleys, up, down.
We're up, we're down.
I would produce 600 and then a month later it's gone. So I got to meet moms through Mary, other moms who we were in one group and we'd talk about breastfeeding, and I met oversuppliers also. So one time my milk is not coming out, and Mary had told me something about you can get donor milk from Pumwani and these other places. And a mom in the group said she's an oversupplier and she wanted to donate. And I reached out to her and I asked her, can I get like 5 liters? And she was like, yeah, sure. And we put the milk in an Uber with the hope that Uber gets here real quick before it thaws. And luckily we did. And my son had that milk for a week, and then my supply came back. And at some point, it also went missing again, and we had to do it again. And it wasn't any different with... you know, when you tell people you've received milk from someone else, people will be like, Adisasa. Like, milk... Like the same milk you're producing, why not just give them yours? Like, I'm low on supply, why not just give them none? But I think for me, I wanted to retain the health-wise of breast milk because of this. Because when your breast milk has a lot of curing, it's like patahoma we give him.
Macho, macho you.
You even bathe them in it. Wait,
what?
To heal the cord.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even bathing. My son at some point had like tiny eczema and we would bathe him in it. And it went away. You don't need like so many other things.
Fancy soaps and whatnot to help.
So I really wanted to retain that. So none to me became, I don't want to go that way. Let me stick to milk. Let me stick to
breast milk.
Mamo milk. So we got milk from someone else and it sustained us. And she even donated to other moms in our children's home. And I found that to be very nice. Because no offense to influencers who use the freezer, but I think freezer milk, high probability will never give it to your kid because they will take as much as you produce. So you end up with a lot of freezer milk that has stayed more than 6 months because of content. Instead, donate the milk. There are a lot of moms who would use, but I think the problem is we shun away from other mom's milk, but it's the same as they used to do it Kitambo. You give another lady to breastfeed for
Breastfeed
you.
your baby, yes.
But I think nowadays when you do it, people see it out of place because it's not now them latching.
milk,
It's in a bottle.
Yeah.
But it's something that used to happen back then, and I feel it should continue happening because it's better than, and none is expensive.
Not. It is expensive, and I'd also want to understand how the I don't know whether to call it like policy around it or whatnot, because again, maybe there's some people who are out there thinking, somebody else has milk, like how do I, like how is that possible? So, but I want to believe they're screened. They are, like, I don't know, probably, just take us through what that is like and what people need to know when we're talking about donor milk and how safe it is, because a lot of people will be like, how safe is that?
So breast milk is a body liquid, just like blood.
Okay.
The way anybody can receive blood, once blood is taken, when we donate blood that is in the lab, and you need blood, you don't know it came from who.
You don't even ask.
Yes.
Imetoka kwa nani.
Na unapewa and it is okay.
Yeah.
So it's the same case with breast milk.
Okay.
But even blood is screened before it's given. There are things that can be passed through body fluids.
Okay.
One is HIV. So HIV status must be known.
Okay.
Hepatitis B status must be known. Hepatitis C.
Okay.
Anything that can be passed through any body fluid should be tested in the breast milk.
Okay.
So if you are receiving blood from a mother, it's good to know her status. A medical report.
Okay.
She can be tested in a good lab. She gives you a clean bill. This is okay. Then there's no harm.
Okay.
Actually, myself in my early nursing, when I was doing midwifery, we practiced that a lot.
Okay.
The mothers with babies in the nursery where mothers were sick or the baby was sick, we'd allow the mothers in the postnatal ward to finish breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Then we would go with the containers. We give mothers to give us milk.
Okay.
Then we go and feed the babies
Okay.
in the nursery.
Okay.
And that was okay. By then, things like HIV were not known. Now those ones came later.
Okay.
So that's why people are fearing. But breast milk can be given from any human being.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say a human being should not even be taking milk from animals. Have you ever seen an animal taking milk from a human being?
Nope.
No, it's only us who take milk from. So a human should be taking milk from.
Another human.
Actually, a baby should be taking a milk from a mother or another human being.
Okay.
A cow should give the cow.
Okay.
Even the goat should give the goat. Yeah.
Because I know majority of the times we don't even think about, I can actually get milk from a mother who has surplus. We think, got milk, cow milk, because like you rightly said, formula sometimes can be out of reach for so many people. But are there like policies surrounding that, like the donation, in as much as, yes, there's some people who might be watching and saying, may I have, excess, and we can go
very
to the
strict, mainly because of those communicable diseases.
Yeah.
So I can definitely tell you that anyone from MOH listening right now is very keen to understand about this informal donor milk sharing.
Yes.
But it's just that. It's only because it would be, if it was without understanding those nuances, it now can become also a public health risk in the sense that if you're not screening, because again, some people might be watching and listening and thinking, then that's okay, I heard my neighbor, and stuff like that. Because even when, if it gets to the point of where they now build community milk banks, right now it's just Pumwani, and they don't take from the community, but you have to fill in a questionnaire. Do you live a risky lifestyle? Because yes, I might be clean today, but then based on my lifestyle in 3 months, I'm HIV positive. So it's also that incubation period. So it's just things to keep us, to safeguard us. So the policy is around safeguarding. but it would also be very naive to assume that people aren't doing it, but as doing it safely. But the policies around that, as they work on building community milk banks, is that try as much as possible to get the support that you want. But everybody knows mother's own milk first, then donor's milk, and then formula. And then we try and not take animal milks, just because, as Mary has said, even just the amount of protein, the amount of, it does a lot more damage in the first 1 year. So it's just making sure that we are safeguarding mothers and babies by doing that. Even that informal milk sharing is done very safely. And even those mothers are tested regularly, because you don't know somebody's lifestyle. So it's not just one test for like can cover you for a year, because you don't know this person, you don't know how risky their lifestyle is. So just to make sure you put those safeguards in place.
I know for so many people will be like, Sister, I need their help. How do I go about asking them, hey, are you HIV positive? Hepatitis B, hepatitis C, when were you tested and whatnot?
I think most moms will just be willing, if they're willing to donate. Like when I reached out to that mom, she knew that if she wanted to donate, that there were regulations towards it, and she was very willing to share her status and her data from the hospital. And if someone wants to donate and has a clean mind and a clean heart, they will be very open and honest about their medical report.
Just ask. You never know.
You have to. You
have
can't risk it. So this is a lifetime. The consequences are lifelong. So you have to. You have to ask.
You have to ask. Okay, so the question is, who made the biggest difference during your first days as a parent, or when you fully welcomed a new baby into the family? Let's hear what you guys have to say on WhatsApp. On Facebook, Lynn anasema, my husband. Jaina anasema, my mom made it happen. Mtoi ako 2 months na aliwacha job for us since I am the only child. Oh, bless moms. Okay. On WhatsApp, this one says, hello, I am a young mother, just turned 20, and my baby is 11 weeks, and I'm glad I have enough milk. I'm a student and planning to go back to school with her. Uji works for me, and kienyeji herbs. Kwanza saga soup. Hey, I'm glad you have educated me about cup feeding. I'm going to try that. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much, and all the very best. And then this one says, I have twins, not having enough milk. Where is this milk to save my babies? Okay. And then this one says, hi, I am Boyani. Mothers should be given their flowers, as breastfeeding is always a full-time job. There was a question. Can we go to this question? Yes. We did not answer, not that one, down. Yes, that one, yes. Because they had asked, I'm exclusively breastfeeding and now have the problem, the baby has a lot of spit-ups several times and in large amounts, even after burping. And then they're asking, is this normal? Normal spit-ups, yes, in large amounts, is that normal?
Okay. What we need to understand, for adults, me and you, if we take our food from the mouth through the esophagus, before it goes into the stomach, there's a muscle that opens here. Then the food goes in, then it is closes. For adults, it's completely formed. Even if you are put upside down, that food can't come out. For a baby, that muscle is not fully mature. So what happens when a baby feeds and the tummy is full, that muscle tends to open and the milk tends to come up, what we call the spitting up now. So one way of preventing that is the way she has said she's burping. Once the baby has done breastfeeding, let's say halfway the breast, you hold the baby upright, in an upright position, for about 2 to 5 minutes, just rubbing here like this, or up and down. Then the baby will either burp, or even sometimes they just fart. Then you go back to the breastfeeding. Once the baby is done with breastfeeding, back to the burping again, 2 to 5 minutes. Once the baby has burped, it's advisable to hold the baby in an upright position for about 20 to 30 minutes. This helps now the most of the milk to sit in the stomach and for the digestion to start. So that even if you put that baby to sleep, even if the milk was to come out, it will not come out like just fresh milk or of it. It will be like curdled milk now. So at least most of the milk will remain. And then also when putting the baby to sleep, a baby who is starting to speak like that, you don't put the bed completely flat.
Okay.
You put like a small wedge behind the baby, not direct on the baby's body, under the mattress. Because we discourage anything like a pillow that can make the baby's head come like this. So you put a wedge under so that the baby is at 30 to 45 degrees. So it's not completely like that. They are again so good to see a baby.
Because I noticed that it stays in to keep that for long affected. It takes up, and it's a hang work. Very important. So if you're because it's coming from your because the body prioritizes the baby. Why for mothers, I tell them we are not eating to make milk. Being alive, you need to nourish yourself. You need to eat well for you. Not to make better milk. You have to look after yourself.
You're eating for two. You're not just that. No, you're eating for you. Then because again, even just going with the theme and especially when my mom aliacha kazi to just come and take care of me because I am the only baby. Are there people in your lives who were a mom?
Okay. My time, I'd say that my partner really played a good role. In fact, I remember she had me, also did a great job because to date, I don't know where she was. Bricks for the moms in corporate. I was lucky enough to be in Thank you to the people I was working with at the time because they were pretty young, right? It was 3-4 months as really worked. I'd say that I'm like, okay, kuna 40, I'm 60, I'm 80. Okay, right? I'm somewhere in between. And so that made it feel more humane and made much more sense to me.
I see that. Monica, aside from the trauma.
Mary, for sure.
Yes.
Everybody deserves a Mary in their life. She held our hands. Apart from that, I would have like a very long list. It took us a village.
Literally, the literal village.
Literally a village from parents, my partner to my sisters, my brothers, and I remember the moms in the group. I would always text Sasabas or usiku, night shift. My milk inatoka more colorless than usual. Is that normal? And then there will always be a mom to answer. And come to their
I think when you started, you said that the main aim here is everybody thinks about the baby and who actually supports the mother. And you see, even the idea of someone just coming or rather telling you that I'll come stay with the baby for 2-3 hours. How about you go get your nails done or go to Karura, take a walk, just so that you're able to empty your mind and just leave. Because again, with breastfeeding, and as Monica had said, those days in the house can really be depressing. So just the idea that it's not your life that has come to a stop and that you're able to continue with that gift really matters, or even just deciding to gift a mom someone night nurse or a day nurse. And I feel for Monica. I mean, I have a girl, she has a boy, so I can imagine that boy can breastfeed for an hour plus. I can't imagine how agonizing that can be. And so just the idea of going out of the norm. And you see, I think the first few months of having a baby is really depressing on the mom because people believe you're not supposed to be outside. I remember I really used to look out for the days when I'd go for my clinics. Because then I'd be like, at least I'll go for clinic. I'll be able to go out. Tukitoka neza mwa nipitie KFC, at least nikule ka KFC. Because then when you come back to the house, you're like another egg. You try to at least atujiambia wacha basi I do laundry. And like, apana, don't do laundry. You're trying to do, no, don't do this. So you feel like your life has come to a shell. But again, it comes with the mother's guilt, where you feel like if you leave your baby, no one else will take proper care of them. So getting someone who can reassure you that no, Pauline, it's okay. How about you go for the girls' date? Your baby will be fine with me, and you don't have to keep on calling, which is impossible. You don't have to keep on making the 110 calls. I'm a culprit of that to date. In fact, the one I'm talking, there's a time when we had to go to Karen. I was going to work, and so I carried my baby with me to Karen. And lucky enough, Mary was also there supporting another mom who was a friend of mine. So I left them with my baby in the house. So when I was coming back, I think the nanny called and said that the baby is crying. And so this guard would not let me come in. So I was like, ngoja kwanza nipigie mwenye nyumba ndio uingie. And I think my nanny told Kina Mary that if that guard does not let Pauline in, Pauline will pass with that gift. Because I thought of, is my baby okay? Are they okay with whoever I'm living? So the certainty that whoever is taking care of your child other than you, that kind of support really goes a long way.
Yeah. I see that. Okay, Monica, any form of support that would mean a lot to a mom?
I think someone gifted me a night nurse for 2 days.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time she came in, the first thing I did, went to the tea farms, screamed kidogo, came back.
Yeah.
Because it was refreshing for me. And I remember my friend picking me up and asking me, we can have the meeting here. I was like, apana kwanza tuende tea farms. I need to scream it out.
And then come back.
I think that was the most memorable gift.
Yeah.
And also the person who gifted me my pump. Because when I started breastfeeding,
We're learning.
so a friend of mine gifts me a pump.
Yeah.
At that point, I don't know this is a primary pump. So I didn't even carry the pump to the hospital.
Yeah.
But then Mary was like, why didn't you? And I'm like, everybody was telling me I shouldn't.
Yeah.
And everybody was telling me, umebeba vitu mingi kwenda hospitali. Little did I know nitafika hospitali and have to send an Uber for them. So now I got a primary pump.
Yeah.
And those things can be quite pricey. And to date, I think about it and I'm like, that person thought outside the box.
Yeah.
Because when people give you things, and I think most of my family members really went outside the box. Because there's a swing, the one you tie.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that they were here in Kenya. And you see them on TikTok and stuff, and then someone comes and gifts you it. So those kind of gifts really make a difference in a mom's perspective, especially a new mom.
I see.
When you're a new mom, there are a lot of things that you do not know.
You don't know.
And the way she was saying that when you're a mom, you stay indoors and you don't want to, you can't work or anything. I think for me, my experience was a bit different. Because for me, it made me an introvert, being a mom. And up to date, I don't leave the house for so long. By lunchtime, I'll have gone back. And apart from that, I became an artisan instead, because now that allowed me to be home. So I kind of took the time to learn how to make things.
Learn a new skill.
And I think I keep pushing it to the moms in the group, like, take that time to learn a new skill. Because when you're idle, your mind goes so far.
A lot of things,
And your mind is like, the world is being unfair to you. And psychologically, that becomes stress. And stress becomes no milk. So instead, not to go there, especially coming out of corporate, like I did. I came from working 16 hours a day. And now you're putting me in a situation I'm not working at all. So I feel bad. And to compensate on that, when the nights now started coming, I would take that time to learn new skills and try new things and such things. So it helped a lot with the mental stress.
That's really beautiful to hear. Pauline wanted to say something?
I think the other thing that can really help with this breastfeeding journey is just an effort to sensitize the partners, or the dads or whoever else is supporting the mom during that journey, on the intensity of this breastfeeding journey, how to best support, because I've known of instances where a partner tells you, si ni kunyonyesha tu, kazi yako kwa nyumba umeshinda ujaosha vyombo, because you've been just breastfeeding the baby. And so just an effort to sensitize. I think, as Monica had said earlier, that having the classes before or even after people leave the hospital, so that they have an understanding of what exactly is happening around this breastfeeding journey.
I see that. And also thinking about how then do we make this sustainable so that it's not a one-time thing. And like you said, let's not make this week between 1st and 7th where we're like, breastfeeding exclusive. And then we forget, we go about our business. How do we make this sustainable? And also when it comes to offering support to the mom, because that is the focus of the conversation today, just going beyond breastfeeding and the baby. What about the mother and this other side of breastfeeding that we rarely get to see?
Yeah, and I think part of that is having these conversations all the time.
Yes.
Because mothering is all the time.
There's no break.
Childbirth is all the time. Breastfeeding is all the time.
Yeah.
So even, and we're always talking about this, and even the challenge is that if we market so many things, why don't we market this support for mothers? Why don't we have more conversations around it? I see it maybe now more. There's some influencers who have put together these spaces, but something like that. And then also, like now I'm a founding member of the Kenya Association for Breastfeeding, and it brings together all these different professionals who work with the baby mother dyad. And so what we encourage them, like I said, the 1,000 days is also just having more and more support groups, like that WhatsApp group, normalizing the fact that you don't have to have a support group around a problem. You know, like it can be the way we have the chamas and things like that, but now just around mothering, you know, like now you can come there and encourage mothers to start, you know, crafting and, you know, to build their own things. Another one will encourage them, I don't know, to start public speaking if they haven't done that. So it's a constant view of looking at motherhood, not just as an isolated role, but as in this is part of me as a person and I need that kind of support throughout. But even Lamaze, ideally, if you're doing a Lamaze class, and anybody who is thinking of doing or is going to do a Lamaze class soon, it should always incorporate a breastfeeding component. And if it does not, then that is not a certified, like that is not a certified Lamaze childbirth educator who is running that class. And that is where also now you bring in the partners. And I must commend the public sector for this, is that what they do is that with each, the ones who are doing really well, with each ANC, you're encouraged to come with your partner. So for them, they are doing that anyway. So facilities are supposed to encourage you to come with your partner. When you've had your baby, you go back into the community, you have community health promoters. They come and visit you, as a family, because that community health promoter is your neighbor. You know, so then there, in that case, there's always support. The community health promoters are supposed to run mother-to-mother support groups and father-to-father support groups. So in terms of the private health sector, the public health sector, they're doing this very well. So we need to adopt that, integrate that idea where even in a health facility, in a hospital, if you know you already have a cohort of mothers, why aren't you like continuing to work with them? Can you bring those provisions because you already have them and chances are they're going to come back to your facility anyway. So why can't you extend, you know, these form support groups, you know, so that's how we can do it. So not just a one-time thing.
And also, Mary, thinking about, especially for the first time moms, who you hear everything from everybody, from how to go back to shape, to what to eat to make sure that there's sufficient milk supply, to what to do to make sure that the baby sleeps well at night. Like there's a whole lot of things that you hear and information that you get online. But when it comes to breastfeeding and just offering support to the moms, right? What is it that moms should run away from? It doesn't matter nani anakuja na kuambia, as long as from where you sit, because 32 years of experience is very rich, What is that moms should run away from, either when it comes to their diet, the things that they're told about what to do with the baby and whatnot, just to make sure the baby is safe and they're also safe?
So for me, what I encourage my mothers, every mother, let's say every pregnancy, every delivery, every mother, every baby is unique. So I encourage every mother to walk their own journey. Because if, let's say, we come to the thing like colic, every mother out there has something that caused colic. Waru, jahe, fermented. So if you take every word, you'll only be left with the water, plain water to drink, and that will not sustain. So for me, I say, in fact, I tell my mothers, I don't encourage you to overeat. I say, drink for 4, eat for 1. Meaning you need plenty of fluids, but eat for yourself. Never miss a meal. Breakfast, lunch, supper, snacks in between. When the calories drop and you are feeling like you have not eaten for 5 days, eat. Don't listen. Listen because social media is there, but filter. For me, I say, eat everything that you like. But if you eat something and you see like it's giving you trouble, or your baby is not behaving well and you suspect I ate waru, you think it's waru, remove it like for a week or so, observe, eat it one more time. The baby might be okay. So was it waru? No. If the baby behaves again badly, you think it's waru, go avoiding, but replacing. Don't go eliminating everything. Because I've seen mothers, Mary, my diet, look, like 20 things. I can't take, don't take greens, don't take citrus fruits, don't take jalebi.
Citrus in the kausha, I've had that.
Don't take cocoa, don't take. So they're like, Mary, what do I eat? I tell them, eat everything. Eliminate as per you, not as per
what
others.
Everybody else says.
Again, the baby did not come to bring tears. Baby came to bring joy to you. And I always tell mothers, your second name is not a baby. You will still remain you. When this baby grows. So be yourself. And there's one aspect I always say, self-love. Self-love, me time. You must create it. So I also say there is no perfect mom. Don't say you are the only one who can change the diaper, do everything. Please, the only thing is only you who can do is put the baby on the breast. The rest, please, hand over. Let others help you sleep with no guilt when somebody else is taking care.
Or when you go back to work, don't keep calling, amelala, ameamka, adapumua. Allow
I
other
have
people
seen
to
this
do that.
thing, which is, I think it's okay because of where the era we are in. People have cameras. They have connected to their phones. So others are even, baby akifanya, the phone is So I think we are putting a lot of stress on ourselves. Many cameras are good, but I think putting them on the phone that you can't even
focus.
You are working, you hear, you are I think we are stressing. So I think what we should also know, babies are born to live. That's why we are billions in the world.
So that's so beautiful. Allow them to live.
Let baby be. They will survive and allow to be helped. If you need to go to the spa, please leave that baby with the dad. Again, this idea of saying my baby. Okay, for single mom is your baby, but if there's a partner, it's not my baby, it's our baby. Our baby.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Well, my mom and have to say on WhatsApp. Okay, this one says, hi. For me, I'll say that bringing up a newborn as a mom just from university without knowledge of parenting is something different. I really bless the Lord. We started the family life as fresh graduates, both of us. And he spits a lot of milk most of the time after feeding. And I was asking if the milk could be burning his skin and causing the eczema rash. Mary?
Okay. I have come across, as I go, for me, I do home visits. So I'm meeting so many mothers at home. I have seen quite a number of that, the rashes around. And actually, I've heard from grandmothers telling, this is, hii ni maziwa yako inafanya. So, I said also, we also learn. Maybe the grandmothers know something we don't know. So what I have been advocating, once the baby, especially when the baby is spitting a lot of milk, we get just a wet cloth with warm water. Once the baby has finished breastfeeding, you just wipe. It's so ironic, breast milk, you can bathe the baby with it and it clears rashes. But for this one around the mouth, it is causing. And I've seen with wiping, immediately baby has fed, wipe just with some cotton wool or just some warm water with a cloth, and the rashes are just clearing. So I don't have the evidence, but I think it is related. So she should just make sure after feeding, she wipes the baby nicely with warm water to leave it just clean.
I see that. All right. And in like 30 seconds or so, Josephine, in terms of, like we said, our laws, we have really good policies and whatnot, but when it comes to implementation, sometimes there's a bit of an issue. So what is that one thing that you'd like mothers to know, and even the entire support system, GAVA, everybody involved as far as breastfeeding in 30 seconds or less.
Okay. Number one is for mothers to advocate for themselves. Trust your instincts. You know what is going on with you. If you feel something is not right, please just make sure that you say to breastfeeding counseling at the very least. We cannot conception all the way for the first professionals. Anybody working with the mother-baby dyad, get trained. You need to be skilled and competent in order to center that mother-baby dyad and the family.
I see that.
Yeah.
All right. Do we take one more feedback? All right. And before we say goodbye on the question, that is, who made a biggest difference in your first days as a parent, or when you fully welcomed a new baby into your family? Okay. Let's see what you guys have to say on WhatsApp. Okay. So this one says, bringing the baby the best. That's beautiful. And congratulations. Congratulations to you. Ladies, thank you so much for coming by today. This was such an insightful conversation. And 30 seconds, 15 seconds message to the moms based on your experience before we say goodbye?
I think my message wouldn't be to the moms, it would be to the people who, the government, the people who organize these things. I think more should be done, especially in public hospitals. You have a very different experience when you're giving birth in public and private. And I think that more should be done.
Should be done. I see that. Thanks, Monica. Pauline.
To the moms who are breastfeeding and taking care of their children, you're doing great. There's no mistake that you have done. If there's not enough milk, that is what you have. As I said, fed is best. And don't give up in this beautiful journey of bringing and springing out a new flower.
Yes. Oh, okay. Very.
So what I would say, first of all, congratulations to all the breastfeeding moms.
Yay.
And WHO recommends a mother should breastfeed exclusively, specifically for 180 days. The 6 months confuses people. Is it at the beginning or is it at the end? It is 6 completed months, 180 days. And I would tell the mothers, once, especially from the hospital, be the advocate of your baby. And I would also discourage the hospital staff to start babies with other things, because WHO says the baby should be put on the breast within the first 30 minutes to one hour of life if it's normal delivery. Cesarean section as soon as the mother comes from theater. If there's no medical reason for giving that baby formula or glucose, and please, medical people in the hospital, cesarean section is not an indication of formula to a baby. The baby cannot die within a few hours, not unless there is a medical reason. And actually, every hospital should have consent, written consent from either a parent or a guardian before a baby is given any other fluid. Baby should feed on the breast first.
Breast milk. I like that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you so much, Pauline, Monica, and Josephine. Such an insightful conversation. I have learned a lot, and I hope you have as well. But keep sending in your views, your comments, your feedback as well on our digital platforms. My name is Winnie Lubembe. Stay safe. Happy breastfeeding week. See you tomorrow on Trendy Thursday. Goodbye.